at a moment when the entire nation, indeed, perhaps even globally, is discussing Sri Lanka cricket and what's happening behind the scenes in Sri Lanka cricket. I think the time is opportune for me to speak a few words. Firstly, as a fan who, from my little days, who hung on to my father's arm and went with the flag proudly and cheered our boys on, and then now, today, I take my own son at our own cost and expense with a flag all over the world cheering our boys on. Secondly, as someone who has played the game. Thirdly, as a lawyer who has represented Sri Lankan cricketers both domestically and internationally when they were under some allegations by the ICC and when issues were raised. And fourthly, and most importantly, as a sovereign Sri Lankan citizen who has authority and right over Sri Lanka cricket. It is our Sri Lanka cricket, no one else's. Why do I say that? Today, the legislature, our parliament, is debating as a special motion the issues faced by Sri Lanka cricket. The Lordships of the Court of Appeal have taken cognizance of some issues with regard to Sri Lanka cricket, our judicial power. The executive arm of government, His Excellency the President, the Cabinet and the Minister, have taken certain decisions over Sri Lanka cricket. All three organs of government today are discussing Sri Lanka cricket. And it is right that they should do that. Why do I say that? Because Sri Lanka cricket exists only on and under that sovereign power and nowhere else. Why? It's not a limited liability company. It's not registered as a corporate entity. It's not a partnership. It's not even an independent single owner business. Then what is it? Where does it get its authority and existence from? It gets it from the registration under the sports law, that it is registered under an act of parliament as a registered sports body under the sports law. That's its existence. And no sooner that is its existence, it is subject to the check by the legislature, the Auditor General, the Court. It's subject to scrutiny by the judicial arm of government, and it's subject to control by the executive arm of government. So therefore, Sri Lanka cricket is not above the sovereign power of Sri Lankan citizens. Secondly, this is something that we must also keep in mind when we negotiate with other international bodies like the ICC. Now, from the last few days, we've been hearing this fear that's been cast upon Sri Lanka cricket, and those of us who are following the issue, we have to be very careful. ICC will be angry with all this. ICC will be angry if we do this. We are not subservient to the ICC. The ICC is simply another global sports body. Sri Lankan sovereignty cannot be subjugated to the ICC. And this is something that we have been arguing before several international tribunals and locally. And this is something, in fact, an ICC tribunal, by a dissenting opinion, have also held, that the ICC's power and authority over Sri Lankan cricketers comes and is derived from contract. So therefore, when we deal with the ICC, we must deal with an equal partner as two parties sitting down to draft a contract, an agreement, not as some subservient creature who goes bent over backwards saying, can you please give this to us? No, we are equal partners, and therefore we must bargain at that level with the ICC, and I'm sure if we explain things to the ICC, they will understand. Thirdly, what is important is that there is some discussion of the court proceedings that are presently ongoing against the particular issue that's before the Court of Appeal. Now, the Sri Lankan judicial system is something that we have zealously safeguarded over years and years of generations. And we should not permit an isolated incident or incidents to cast any aspersion or do anything that is harmful to the faith that the Sri Lankan citizen has in our judicial system. So if there is any such issue, any such allegation, the correct thing to do would be to immediately appeal that matter. If there is any issue that the Honourable Minister or anyone else has, that these decisions have not been arrived, looking at only what is before the court, but for some other extraneous or collateral reason, then there are grounds on which that can be appealed, and then that appeal should be taken to the next court, which is the Lordship of the Supreme Court. And that matter should be settled within the four corners of the law without permitting any further damage to be done to the integrity of the judiciary and the respect with which people hold it. Finally, a word to our present cricketers. Don't let these politics and what's happening outside bother you. You carry on and play the game to the best of the ability. Look at the ball and not the bowler. You play the ball on its merit. And we will continue to cheer you on and we'll be proud of you. Cricket is not something that you can win every day. You lose, you win. But it's a way you lose that matters. And it's a way you win that matters. So we will be with you and we'll continue to follow you with that lion flag proudly. You keep your eye on the ball, you play the game, and all of us will get together and make sure that you will have a proper administration that you can proudly belong to as Sri Lankan cricketers. Thank you.